What if everything you've been told about brushing your teeth isn't the full story? Most people believe cavities, gum disease, and bad breath are simply the result of sugar, poor hygiene, or forgetting to floss. So they brush harder. They buy stronger mouthwashes. They try every new toothpaste that promises a brighter smile. And yet, millions of people who brush twice a day still struggle with bleeding gums, sensitivity, plaque buildup, and persistent bad breath. So here's the real question. If people are brushing more than ever before, why are oral health problems still increasing all over the world? Recently, scientists started looking at this mystery from a completely different angle. Instead of focusing only on teeth, they began studying something much smaller, something that lives inside your mouth right now. Bacteria. Not just harmful bacteria, but also the good bacteria that play a crucial role in protecting your teeth and gums. And what researchers discovered may completely change the way we think about oral health. You see, your mouth is home to billions of microorganisms, forming what scientists call the oral microbiome. It's a delicate ecosystem where beneficial bacteria help control inflammation, support gum tissue, and even help prevent the growth of harmful microbes. But when that balance is disrupted, the problems begin. Suddenly, harmful bacteria can start to dominate. This imbalance may lead to plaque buildup, gum irritation, bad breath, and over time, more serious dental issues. And here's the surprising part. Some researchers now believe that many modern dental products may unintentionally disrupt this balance. In other words, while trying to eliminate harmful bacteria, they may also be wiping out the beneficial bacteria that your mouth actually needs to stay healthy. Which raises a fascinating question. What if oral health isn't just about removing bacteria, but about restoring the right ones? And this idea is exactly what has led scientists to start exploring a completely new approach to dental health. One that focuses on supporting the mouth's natural bacterial balance instead of constantly fighting against it. In the next few minutes, we're going to explore what science is beginning to reveal about the hidden role bacteria play in oral health and why some researchers believe restoring this delicate balance may be one of the missing pieces in protecting your teeth and gums. Because once you understand how this microscopic ecosystem works, you might start seeing oral health in a completely different way. To understand why this bacterial balance matters so much, imagine your mouth as a small ecosystem. Just like a forest or a coral reef, it depends on balance to stay healthy. Inside your mouth live hundreds of different species of bacteria, and while that might sound alarming at first, many of them actually play an important role in protecting your teeth and gums. In fact, some beneficial bacteria help break down food particles, support healthy gum tissue, and even prevent harmful microbes from taking over. The problem begins when this balance shifts. Modern lifestyles, including diet, stress, medications, and even certain dental products, can gradually disrupt this delicate ecosystem. When beneficial bacteria decline, harmful bacteria suddenly have more space to grow. And when that happens, the effects often start subtly. You might notice your gums becoming a little more sensitive when brushing. Maybe your breath doesn't feel as fresh as it used to. Perhaps plaque seems to build up faster, even when you brush regularly. Over time, these small changes can develop into larger problems. Inflammation of the gums, persistent bad breath, more cavities, and in some cases, long-term damage to the structures that support your teeth. What makes this situation even more confusing is that many people experiencing these issues are actually doing everything they've been told to do. They brush twice a day. They floss regularly. They use mouthwash. Yet the problems continue. This is what led some researchers to ask an important question. What if the issue isn't simply how well we clean our teeth, but how well we protect the beneficial bacteria that live in our mouths? Because when the good bacteria disappear, the harmful ones often multiply quickly. And unlike visible plaque or food particles, this imbalance is something you can't easily see in the mirror. But scientists have started noticing a pattern. When researchers compared people with strong, healthy teeth to those with ongoing dental problems, one difference kept appearing again and again. People with healthier teeth often had a much higher population of beneficial bacteria in their mouths. This observation began to shift the way scientists think about oral health. Instead of focusing only on eliminating harmful bacteria, some experts began exploring a new idea. What if maintaining a healthy mouth is not just about removing bacteria, but about supporting the right bacterial environment in the first place? And that question has opened the door to a completely different approach that many people have never heard about before. An approach centered around restoring the oral microbiome. As scientists began studying the oral microbiome more closely, something fascinating started to appear in the research. For decades, dentistry focused mainly on removing bacteria from the mouth. The idea seemed simple. Fewer bacteria meant fewer dental problems. But newer studies began showing that this picture was far more complex. Researchers discovered that a healthy mouth is not actually a bacteria-free environment. In fact, it's quite the opposite. A healthy mouth contains a rich and balanced community of beneficial bacteria that work together to keep harmful microbes under control. Think of it like a neighborhood. When good, stable residents live there, they naturally prevent troublemakers from taking over. But when those good residents disappear, the environment changes quickly, and unwanted activity begins to spread. Something very similar happens inside the mouth. When beneficial bacteria are present in strong numbers, they help regulate the entire microbial environment. They compete with harmful bacteria for space and nutrients, making it much harder for destructive microbes to dominate. But when that balance is disturbed, harmful bacteria can grow rapidly. And this is where things start to get interesting. Some scientists began to suspect that certain modern habits might be unintentionally disrupting this balance. Highly processed diets, constant snacking, certain medications, and even some oral care products may contribute to changes in the oral microbiome over time. Instead of simply reducing harmful bacteria, these factors may sometimes reduce beneficial bacteria as well. That's when researchers started exploring a completely different concept that had already been gaining attention in other areas of health. Probiotics. Most people associate probiotics with digestive health, the idea of supporting beneficial bacteria in the gut. But scientists began asking an intriguing question. If beneficial bacteria are so important for the gut, could a similar principle apply to the mouth? In other words, instead of focusing only on eliminating bacteria, could supporting the right kinds of bacteria help restore balance inside the oral environment? This idea led researchers to begin studying specific strains of beneficial bacteria that appear naturally in healthy mouths. Some strains were found to help support gum health. Others appeared to influence inflammation levels. And some seemed to help maintain a more balanced oral environment overall. While research in this area is still evolving, one thing has become increasingly clear. The health of your teeth and gums may be deeply connected to the microscopic ecosystem living inside your mouth. And once that ecosystem becomes unbalanced, simply brushing harder may not be enough to restore it. This realization has started changing the conversation around oral health, and it's leading many people to explore new approaches that focus on supporting the mouth's natural bacterial balance rather than constantly fighting against it. In the next part, we'll look at how this imbalance can develop in everyday life, and why so many people may unknowingly be making the problem worse without realizing it. At this point, you might be wondering something important. If beneficial bacteria are so essential for a healthy mouth, how does this balance get disrupted in the first place? The truth is, it often happens gradually, through everyday habits most people never think twice about. Modern diets are one of the biggest factors. Frequent snacking, sugary foods, and highly processed ingredients can create an environment where harmful bacteria thrive more easily. Over time, these bacteria begin producing acids and toxins that irritate gum tissue and weaken enamel. But diet is only part of the story. Stress, poor sleep, certain medications, and even dehydration can influence the delicate microbial balance inside the mouth. And then there's something many people rely on every single day: oral hygiene products. Now, to be clear, brushing and cleaning your teeth is extremely important. Dentists have recommended these habits for good reason. However, some researchers have started pointing out that certain products may sometimes be too aggressive when it comes to bacteria. In trying to eliminate harmful microbes, they may also reduce beneficial bacteria that help maintain balance in the mouth. Imagine trying to solve a garden problem by removing weeds, but accidentally pulling out the healthy plants at the same time. At first, everything might look clean, but over time, without the protective plants, the weeds can grow back even stronger. Something similar can happen in the oral microbiome. When beneficial bacteria decline, Harmful species can take advantage of the empty space and multiply faster than before. This is why many people find themselves stuck in a frustrating cycle. They brush more. They try new toothpastes. They use stronger mouthwashes. Yet the same problems keep returning. Bad breath, sensitive gums, plaque buildup, and dental visits that seem to get more frequent over the years. And this cycle has led many researchers and health professionals to start looking beyond traditional approaches. Instead of focusing only on eliminating bacteria, some experts are exploring ways to reintroduce beneficial bacteria back into the oral environment, helping restore the natural balance that protects the mouth. Because if the problem begins with an imbalance, then restoring that balance may be a key piece of the solution. And this is exactly where a new category of oral health supplements has started gaining attention. Products designed specifically to support the beneficial bacteria that naturally live in the mouth. In the next part, we'll look at how this emerging approach works and why it's becoming an interesting topic in the world of dental research. As this new understanding of the oral microbiome began spreading in the scientific community, researchers and health enthusiasts started exploring a different question. If beneficial bacteria are so important for maintaining balance in the mouth, could restoring those bacteria actually support better oral health? Instead of focusing only on eliminating harmful microbes, the idea was to help repopulate the mouth with beneficial bacteria, creating a healthier microbial environment. This concept is very similar to what we already see in gut health. For years, scientists have studied how probiotics, beneficial bacteria, can help support the digestive system. But now, researchers are beginning to explore how certain probiotic strains may also influence the oral environment. Some strains appear to help maintain gum health. Others may support a balanced bacterial ecosystem in the mouth. And this is where a new category of supplements has started gaining attention. These supplements are designed specifically to deliver beneficial bacteria directly into the mouth, not the stomach, allowing them to interact with the oral microbiome itself. Recently, while researching this topic, I came across one example that has been getting quite a bit of attention in discussions around oral microbiome health. It's called ProDentim. Unlike traditional oral products that focus mainly on cleaning the surface of teeth, this supplement was designed with a different idea in mind, supporting the balance of bacteria inside the mouth. According to the information available, each serving contains billions of probiotic strains along with nutrients that may help support gum and tooth health. Some of these strains, like Lactobacillus paracasi, B. lactis BL04, and Lactobacillus reuteri, have been studied for their potential role in supporting oral health and maintaining bacterial balance. The goal behind this approach isn't simply to eliminate bacteria, but to help create a healthier microbial environment inside the mouth. Now, of course, supplements like this are not meant to replace good oral hygiene or professional dental care. Brushing, flossing, and regular dental checkups remain essential. But the idea of supporting the mouth's natural bacterial balance is something that many researchers and health enthusiasts are starting to find increasingly interesting. If you're curious to learn more about the supplement I mentioned, I've left a link in the comments where you can read the details and see how it works. There's no pressure. It's simply there for anyone who wants to explore this approach further. Because as we continue learning more about the oral microbiome, it's becoming clearer that maintaining the right bacterial balance may play a much bigger role in oral health than most people ever realized. As this idea of supporting beneficial bacteria in the mouth continues to gain attention, more people have started exploring products designed around this concept. And naturally, when something new begins attracting interest, many people want to know the same thing. Does it actually make a difference? While research on the oral microbiome is still evolving, some studies on probiotic strains used in oral health have shown promising observations. Certain strains of beneficial bacteria have been studied for their potential to support gum tissue, help maintain a balanced oral environment, and even influence the levels of harmful bacteria that contribute to plaque and inflammation. But beyond the research, many people have also shared personal experiences after trying probiotic-based oral supplements. Some report that their gums feel less irritated. Others say their breath feels fresher throughout the day. And some mention that their mouth simply feels cleaner and healthier overall. Of course, experiences can vary from person to person, and results are never exactly the same for everyone. But the growing interest in the oral microbiome has opened an entirely new conversation in the world of dental health. For years, oral care focused mainly on removing plaque and killing bacteria. Now, researchers are beginning to explore a different perspective, one that sees the mouth as a complex microbial ecosystem where balance may be just as important as cleanliness. This doesn't mean traditional dental care becomes less important. Brushing your teeth, flossing daily, and visiting a dentist regularly remain fundamental habits for protecting your teeth and gums. But supporting beneficial bacteria may represent an additional piece of the puzzle that many people had never considered before. And for those who are curious about new ways to support their oral health naturally, probiotic-based approaches are quickly becoming one of the most talked about areas of research in the field. In the final part of this video, we'll briefly recap why the balance of bacteria in your mouth matters so much, and what steps you can take if you're interested in exploring this new approach further. So when we step back and look at the bigger picture, one thing becomes clear. Oral health may be far more complex than simply brushing away plaque or avoiding sugar. Inside your mouth exists an entire microscopic ecosystem, billions of bacteria, constantly interacting with each other, influencing the health of your gums, your teeth, and even your breath. When this ecosystem is balanced, beneficial bacteria help keep harmful microbes under control. They support gum tissue, help regulate inflammation, and maintain a healthier environment overall. But when that balance is disrupted, harmful bacteria can begin to dominate. And that imbalance may quietly contribute to many of the problems people struggle with every day. Bad breath, irritated gums, plaque buildup, and ongoing dental issues. This growing understanding of the oral microbiome is what has led researchers to explore new ways of supporting oral health. Instead of focusing only on eliminating bacteria, some experts are now asking a different question. How can we support the beneficial bacteria that naturally protect the mouth? This is exactly why probiotic-based oral supplements have started attracting attention in recent years. Products like the one I mentioned earlier, Prodentim, were developed around this idea, helping introduce beneficial bacterial strains and nutrients that may support a healthier oral environment. If you're interested in learning more about how this approach works, you can check out the link I left in the comments below. There you'll be able to see the ingredients, understand how the formula is designed, and decide for yourself whether this is something you might want to explore further. Just remember that maintaining good oral health always involves multiple factors: proper hygiene, a balanced diet, and regular dental care. And before trying any supplement or making significant changes to your health routine, it's always a good idea to consult with a qualified healthcare professional or dentist. This video is intended for educational purposes only and should not be considered medical advice. But as research into the oral microbiome continues to evolve, one thing is becoming increasingly fascinating: the tiny bacteria. Living inside your mouth may play a much bigger role in your oral health than most people ever imagined. And understanding that hidden ecosystem might just change the way we think about dental care in the years ahead.